just judging off of what the rest, your perception of the rest of the country, right? What was like growing up in Washington for you?
Well, okay, so I moved away from Washington when I turned 19, 20.
Okay.
So, but before that, when I was living in West Seattle, which was my neighborhood, but I traveled. I've been to Bellevue. I know what it's like in North Seattle, Lake City,
Right.
Port Orchard.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was pretty much. We had I went to South Shore Middle School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was bad. I wouldn't say bad. Middle school was a pretty frustrating time for me,
Okay.
So, I grew up in West Seattle, so there's like a lot of Samoans there. Yeah, a lot of people from refugee area of Cambodia and Vietnam.
Okay.
And Laos. So they had the High Point area. There's Roxbury, the projects there.
Roxbury, yeah.
Yeah, so I've had my experience of that, and taking the bus was kind of cool. I was like 12 years old, just taking the bus all around the city. We used to go to youth art programs in Chinatown. I remember this thing called Appalot, Asian Pacific Islander Leader of Tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Heavy.
That was where all the people used to go to B-Boy,
Really?
break dance. And
we're talking about 80s?
90s.
90s.
Yeah, early 90s, late 90s. Let me say late 90s. Maybe
Okay.
94, 95.
Yeah.
Something.
And so
like
back
that.
then, what were some of the hot spots around Seattle for culture?
Okay, back in the day, well, I went to South Shore, so if you wanted culture, for me, oh man, I remember going to this Cube 93 Summer Jam and seeing Domino.
Oh, really?
Live,
Heavy.
yeah, Domino. Who remembers Domino? Ghetto Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to Seattle Center, and that's pretty much where we got a lot of our cultural stuff. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they had the Folk Life Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I was I was pretty sheltered because I stayed in West Seattle. I didn't get out of that neighborhood.
Right.
Except to go to the parks.
Yeah.
But
I know Westlake was kind of a big part of that.
Yeah, we used to go to Westlake. Yeah, back in the day, we used to skateboard in Westlake, and I don't know, we used to do graph. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I grew up with watching Breaking 2,
Right.
Art Style Wars.
Yeah.
So we were all into the hip hop culture. So
No doubt.
yeah, for culture, yeah, let's just say Westlake. Of course, South End.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Rainier Beach, South.
That's between the CD and the South End, that's the heart.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I'm
I
saying?
grew up more in the South End, not in Rainier Beach. My cousin lived over there in Rainier Beach when it was super the hood.
Okay. Right.
Yes. Yeah, I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I remember when Polo Sport and Tommy Hilfiger, and I remember, when I was young, I was always I got in fights. So, back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, and it was pretty hood in the 90s in Rainier Beach.
Yeah, so I hear, man, and I can imagine, especially when I rode through there, I'm in the 90s, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot more activity.
Yeah, it's cleaned up a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that, the community's taking it back.
Yeah.
But at the same time, implementing people's culture and art.
Right, diversity.
Diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
I taught last year I taught at Rainier Beach music course.
Okay.
For for a summer.
Where, at Rainier Beach High?
Yeah, RB.
Okay, heavy.
Shouts out to RB.
Nice.
Yeah, and my students.